It's time for the annual garden tour through the backyard. Just a plain old regular people garden, but a lot of fun anyhow. And it's also great fun to share it. So let's take a look now. Right now we're looking down one side of the house, and you can see that we've got a lot of basil that's growing, as well as some peppers back in there, a little tomato plant, and a green pepper there as well. Of course, it's August right now, so things are not bearing so well. Right here we see the remainders of my tomato starting exercise, which was very successful. Some impatiens. They've only been coming up for about a week. And here are some marigolds that I planted 2 days ago, and they've yet to germinate. On the other side, we have some more basil, some broccoli of Carol's, a tomato plant that's looking still very green but no longer bearing, but oftentimes these will bear again in the fall, and some of our tomato plants have even lasted until the next year. And now we're looking past one of our fruit trees. Actually, I forget the name of it. It's not a fruit from my childhood, and it slips out of my mind all the time. They're pretty good, but not that great. And over here we have the major part of the vegetable garden, and that which is dominating it at this point in time is eggplant. We've got a lot of eggplant this year, and it's done very, very well. And there we've got a green pepper plant, which is still bearing. I stand corrected. This is a banana pepper plant. This one's still a bit on the green side, but it's going to be delicious. We've gotten a bunch of really good peppers from it. And we've gotten green peppers from here. We had a lot of tomatoes in here, but some of those plants are now gone. And a squash plant, and behind that more squash, and of course looming quite well, moderately large there, we have one of our grapefruit trees. We have two of them. This one's about half the size of the other, and we probably got 50 grapefruit from it last year. In fact, we made so much grapefruit juice and orange juice that we filled our freezer and my brother-in-law's freezer as well, at least most of it. He lives about 1 block away. Now in the back here, this may be of interest to you, we have a ladder. And you say, why? Well, look above that, and you see two pieces of wood coming out there, and I put a squirrel trap there. And you'll hear more about the squirrel trap a little bit later, because today I caught one of the little fellows and had to take him down to the river and let him go. Oh, and in the back we have a pet cemetery, complete with flowers for the likes of Stormy and Jonah and Nickel and Heidi the dog, Silky the cat, and a cenotaph for Jonah, who's actually buried a little bit away from here. Our very traditional backyard porch swing. And then we're looking down the back of the garage, where we have many more plants too. Let's go over and take a look and see what we've got. We've got some small citrus trees in pots here. An avocado tree, a star fruit tree beyond that, and with very small kumquats on them. Our kumquat tree, we'll soon be eating them. And if you like spinach, yes, that's one plant, grown wild and good. some more citrus, and broccoli, some rather burned up tomato plants, but I've got more coming on that. Some cannas for decoration, and here's another tomato plant. And here, the result of much work in the last week, are 12, count them 12, brand new tomato plants, just new in the ground. And hopefully, soon to be providing another crop of tomatoes. Some additional leftover plants. Oh yes, and my South African peppers. You bite into one, you never know what it's going to taste like. Sometimes they're sweet, sometimes they're hot. They're very, very tasty. Very pricey seeds too. Interesting experiment. Not sure I would do it again. But yeah. Now we're going to walk over and look down the side of the garage here. Yep, this is our orange tree. And I'm going to back up here and try and give you some idea of how big it is. Because this is one really big fellow, and we got 600 or 800 oranges from it last year. Absolutely incredible orange juice from this particular tree. And hiding in the back behind it is another grapefruit tree. And these green citruses growing on there, no, those are not green oranges. Those are green grapefruit. And this tree goes way up there as well. And when these grapefruit mature, they will be twice that size, some of them bigger even than that. And sweet too. Farther into the year you go, the sweeter that they get. Oh, by the way, I want to go back to the yard now and show you something. We'll take a look there. Yes, this is another ladder that looks up at one of my homemade animal traps. And I'm particularly aggressive about trying to capture squirrels in them, because our pecan tree is starting to produce now, even though they're green. And the little guys like to come and eat the pecans, which, as you might understand, does not make us very happy. I do have two of these relatively large traps and built them by watching YouTube videos on how to do it. I've also got a couple of store-bought traps. This last year I caught, including today, 15 squirrels, 25 mice, 3 possums, and 1 full-sized raccoon in that fellow. I've also got some mice and route traps out and killed a bunch of them too. But I try to do the live capture. Then I take them down to the Brazos River. It's about 1 mile away, and let them go on the riverside. Hey, let's meet one of the squirrels now. And this little fellow I caught in my homemade trap. He was trying to eat pecans from our pecan tree. And last year they got almost all of them, but this year I'm in great shape. Last year before they ate most of our oranges too, but not this last year. So I'm getting ready to take him down to the river to let him go. See if I can get a close-up of him here. Well, I'm back from letting my little squirrel go, and now I'm going to show you how my homemade trap works. The trigger for the trap is a little bar that has some bread with peanut butter sitting on it. And should the little critter come along and take a bite and press on that lever, it will tilt down. There's a string that runs upward from it through a hole in the roof, and you can see that the hole in the roof goes to a rat trap, which currently is set. And should he press that little lever downward, then the trap will spring and the door will drop. And that's how it works. Well, I hope you enjoyed this annual tour of the garden, and who knows, there may even be a late fall tour as well, should the next crop of vegetables actually successfully come in. Not to mention that I also planted some flowers as seeds, marigolds, so I'm hoping that those will come in too. Bye now.